you imagine that when you guys found out, each of you, that you were going to be on Doctor Who? It's a very exciting moment, and then when you first get to see where your costume is going to be, it must be a very exciting point. You realize that you're wearing the same thing over and over and over again. And Matthew already kind of started on this, you know, but when you realized you had a decorative vegetable, how did that make you feel? And you know, for each of your costume elements, you know, previous, you know, when you watched Doctor, you saw, oh man, this big flowing scarf, and I would think that wearing that is kind of a bit difficult to hot. But you had a decorative vegetable. Yes. I was wondering how did that all work out when you first saw it, like?
Well, I was just thankful that the decorative vegetable was an imitation stick of celery rather than a real stick of celery, which I wasn't really fond of. The costume was very comfortable. I did think, quite right, that I'm going to be walking around this for the next 2 years. There was a moment where I said, what have I done? But no, generally speaking, I was quite happy with the costume, even with the decorative vegetable. I only asked that the decorative vegetable be explained by the time I left, which it was in the last 5 minutes of my time as the Doctor. It was made up rather hastily by John Nathan Turner, I think, and they had to rewrite the script. But no, I was quite happy.
I quite liked my air stewardess's uniform because it was a bit retro, so I quite liked that. What I didn't like was that I was going to learn, you know, I was going to live in it. And B, that it wasn't very practical because filming is often very cold, so I often got to be freezing.
When they showed you the sort of second season costume, did you wish you were back in it?
Oh, absolutely. Bloody boob tube. And that was designed by John Nathan Turner. It was, I kid you not. A man who thought the Hawaiian shirt was a suitable garment for an adult to wear.
Oh, I'd have fantasies that I would have a sort of rather cool outfit with maybe a ray gun and all this kind of stuff. And they put me in these pajamas with this badge. And then I realised, come the second story, that I wasn't getting a new costume for the second story. And then it became plain I was going to be stuck in this thing for the entire run. Not thrilled, it has to be said. I wasn't thrilled by those bloody boots, those silly little green boots. No, I wasn't delighted by my costume, I have to say. In the nicest possible way to the fabulous woman who designed it. I never really fell in love with that.
Right, and we're going to go through these next questions quite quickly because otherwise people aren't going to get to ask their question. So let's have your question, please.
I want to thank you for doing all the Big Finish stuff. I think we were Edgar stories, but it keeps it going in our minds. When I listen to them, I think back to those times when I was watching them. When you guys are acting in them, do you also think back to those times? Or
yeah, sometimes.
You met yourself, 20-some years ago?
Yeah, sometimes.
And we walk out, look in the mirror and go, oh my God. Yes?
Well, I asked Peter this yesterday, but I didn't really get a straight answer. What's your... I think it's kind of for all of you. What was your favorite, most memorable moment on set?
Don't you say that!
That movie was slightly off the set. Remember, it was in fact in a public corridor. So there's no, I wouldn't dream of mentioning that incident. No one, No, I can't mention it. We haven't got time now. Maybe tomorrow. That's the question. I failed to answer this yesterday, so now it's your turn.
Did you?
Yeah.
What's
your favourite moment?
Oh, God knows. I don't know. No idea.
If you broaden the question, then my favourite moment in broadcasting in television centre would have been the moment that no one is mentioning.
The first TARDIS scene I did, because I'd grown up watching TARDIS console, which is very cool to be on the TARDIS set, this wooden collapsed thing. Very exciting for me.
Castor Bello was the first show I ever saw, the first episode I saw when I was a child. So seeing you all here today is awesome. Peter, you've been doing the Big Finish audio since the beginning, and Janet, you finally came back and did more. What do we have to do, Matthew, to get you to do some more Big Finish audios and get this chemistry going in the TARDIS again on Big Finish? What do we have to do?
Paying me an enormous amount of money. I'll officially only do it if I get paid more than Peter Davison. No,
That's completely impossible, Matthew.
I don't know, maybe I should do one. It's been mooted for years, and I'll discuss this at the Big Finish panel.
A lot of us from our generation can relate to Adric, and we'd really like to see him portrayed more in-depth, the way Big Finish is doing for the companions.
Oh, but by the way, I'm in a Dark Shadows. You know I'm in a Big Finish Dark Shadows?
Yeah, I know. That's one step closer, so we're crossing our fingers. Thank you.
Hello. First of all, you're brilliant. All
Thank
of
you, I agree.
And one of the first episodes I saw of some of the older seasons, it was an infection, and I was just laughing at special effects. I'm like, I went to my dad, is that bubble wrap? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bubble wrap monster? I was really confused. So did you guys ever have your own kind of jokes about the special effects back then?
Oh God, yes. By the time I landed in the Merca. The Merca, this monster that we were talking about earlier, and they kept putting green paint on it because bits of it was showing. And anyway, the guys fell over and they took me with them. And I landed in the Merca. And I was green, and I had wet green paint down one side of my body. So there's a scene where I'm running away from the Merca side on. Because it was nearly 10 o'clock. And, you know, in those days, the union used to literally pull the plug out at 10 o'clock. It didn't matter if you had 50 seconds more to finish a scene, they would just pull the plug. So, yeah.
I did a scene when I was slowly changing into Omega in the story set in Amsterdam. And we were filming in Dam Square, in the middle of the heart of Amsterdam, and they had Rice Krispies mixed with green slime all over my face. And they just said, just run across Dam Square. But there was no film crew inside because the camera was up in a building, just pointing down at me. So I had to wander in my outfit with Rice Krispies and green slime all over my face, staggering through Dam Square. And people were just looking at me like I was a dumb bum. As I indeed I was. It was also never in the end product.
One thing I remember was in Full Circle, they cast this short actor as a baby marshman. The marshmen basically wore these rubber Silurian-type costumes, sort of a diving suit essentially. And the minute this actor put this diving suit on, it became clear he was claustrophobic. So there's a scene where he's smashing up this laboratory, and the poor man's having a complete seizure. You're watching an actor who's actually not acting at all. He's completely freaking out in this extremely tight rubber costume.
Thank you.
Yes, that'll be good for the next few questions.
Okay, Peter, are you gonna, how long are you gonna stay with Law and Order UK?
Well, I don't know if they're doing any more. I've done effectively two series, although I didn't go in the straight run. So I think one of them has gone out of Britain and there's no one due to go out. So, but I don't know if they're going to do any more, or indeed if I'd be in them if there were, so I don't know.
If they do more, would you stay on after 3 seasons?
Not unless like Alfred Molina over here, I got promoted to be the lead detective. Strangely forgotten that I had a detective career before, apparently. Do you know that? No,
A very quick question.
Yeah, yes, I don't know. Yes.
Where were you on 9/11?
I was filming at home with the Braithwaites in Yorkshire.
You, Janet?
I was in Notting Hill.
And Matt?
I was sitting in our house in New Haven. I meant to go to New York that day, actually. It was just, I decided not to go, but I hadn't actually meant to go there.
Let's press
okay.
We can get through this, we can do it. Let's step forward. Say question. No, don't chat. Just say your question.
You can quickly,
I have a question.
so sorry.